But I really do think that beam attacks do not work on IBO Gundams, and therefore the strike freedom would be. Oh, hey guys, we are live.
Just stirring the pot right off the start.
Fuck them. What's going on, guys? We am live.
We am live.
We am live, and we has build divers.
Indeed.
So, mind you, it's a BATTLOGUE, but we'll take it. Because to me, BATTLOGUEs are canon. To me.
Totally.
So unlike it's not, even though it kind of takes on the idea of an OVA, but it happens within the same universe with the same characters and stuff like that. So everything in this episode is technically canon and post ReRISE.
Yes.
So, yay.
That was the cool part of this too, I think, is that we get a glimpse of the world after, basically. The
minor world after. And I do have some comments on that as we go. I made a comment first because I'm a dork. And so I put I'm so ready for this from my It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel. By the way, guys, go subscribe to the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the Shoki Reviews 2, I did this week change the name of Shoki Reviews 2. So now it's Shoki Reviews 2. That's TOO instead of the 2. So literally it's a play on, oh yeah, I also review these things. So I should have done that.
You've been talking about doing that for a while now.
I know. I just finally thought about it because I'm a loser. Jack of Blades, what's going on? Victor Strang. I mean, you're not wrong when you say that there should be more one-eye. Jerry, what up? Lindell Rodriguez. We have 12 people already. Doovy Gumpla, Mr. Mecha Guy. Hey, Blockio, what's up? I haven't seen anyone claim they aren't. Okay, we're not getting into that yet. I just really wanted to stir the pot, and we were legitimately having that conversation before I hit go.
Yes.
But because I'm just that good, I rolled it into the intro. My bad. Also, it doesn't have to make sense into the future channels. Yeah, I haven't done that just yet. I mean, the channel's literally only like a month and a half old, so I have forgotten about that. Sorry, Blockio. You know, you could literally click on my name, click on the name and go to the channel from the chat. But, you know, it is what it is. And, of course, guys, if you are new to the channel and new to these live streams, we do the thing. We go over the whole episode. Please don't jump ahead on spoilers. Not that there's really anything to spoil, so to speak. I will have, you know, images of representation of the things. And in fact, for an 11-minute episode, it took 59 pictures to get through it. So what the fuck? We are literally right back in this. You can't actually. He's making my life difficult. I was wondering when you guys were coming back. When we had something to come back to. That's when we were coming back. For those who missed the Double October live streams that he was also involved in. I love seeing the build divers pilot other mechas from different series. Yes, Mr. Mecha Guy, you are correct. But don't get ahead. We're not there yet. Because first, we have to talk about things that happened over on this guy's channel.
Let's see. Last week, I actually had Master Grade stuff, which is kind of a rarity on my channel.
What?
I had on Monday, I had the unboxing of the Master Grade Zagok, specifically Char's version. And
so would you say you had a Master Grade Monday unboxing?
No, I wouldn't say that because that belongs to somebody else. Though what's funny is when I did my review, I somehow ended up with the box almost upside down. I was like, wait, nope, I'm not that channel, and I flip it around.
It's unavoidable. It is what it is. Hida Terasi is here. Adam Knight is here. John Nicholas. I'm not trying to say your name. Thank you. Kitavis. I have no clue. What's up? 17 people. What's up? I have no idea what this is going to be like. So you had a Zagok.
Yep. And so I unboxed it, and I actually got it put together pretty quickly. So I got a review for it out in the same week, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's like, huh, I guess I could review that now, huh?
Particularly since it's a Master Grade, I was expecting it to take me like a couple weeks or something to get through it. And instead, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I mean, some of it's kind of wonky, but I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, some of it's kind of wonky. That's the worst thing. It's a little wonky, but I'll take it. It's fine. It's fine. It's good
And I
enough.
got custom plans for that thing too. I just waiting on some paint to arrive.
Ooh, teasers. So, guys, I did get some things in the mail, but you guys won't be able to see them unless you are, in fact, a Patreoneer. So if you want to see some of the cool stuff that I've gotten lately, plus some updates on things and potential futures for what's going away from the Shoki Cave, you should probably sign up for the Patreon. Just saying. Also, I have new merch in the store. If you missed all the Double October stuff, go buy it anyways. It's still there. However, I do have a F Your Empire shirt and posters and mugs and everything else like that, based off of my Admiral Akbar review that is pending. So if you want to be able to tell whatever evil empire you dislike to go fuck itself, by all means, go buy one of my shirts or posters. Actually, I ordered myself the Devi Joke poster and the F Your Empire poster. So I will have those.
I need to get me one of the Double October shirts to add to my collection.
Yes. You need to get the green V and the gold V.
No, I'm just getting the gold V because that was the one that I was telling you to do in the first place.
Well, I did both just because. Let's see here. This episode had an IRL casualty count. That's funny. The Nerd Toff, what up? So the Nerd Toff, what do you bend? It's like, are you a nerd bender? That sounds weird. I might black out. There's a storm and my lights have been flickering. That sucks, bud.
Oh, be safe, dude.
Yeah, wherever you are, that sucks. Speaking of storms, we have had a ton of hurricanes pop up in the Gulf in the last like 3 weeks. It's like, hey, new week, new hurricane. Poor Florida. Sorry, guys. If you're in Florida, I hope you are okay, along with your family and everything else like that. It has been incredibly wet for both like the Yucatan Peninsula and Florida. And it's literally going back and forth. Did you notice that? It's like Florida, Yucatan, Florida, Yucatan. Texas is okay.
And we got like Iota, I think, is in the Gulf right now, and we got another one forming off.
It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, you can't put links on things, Mr. Mecha Guy. What did you want a link to? Oh, to the store. It's in the description. Links to all the things are in the description below, except for to his channel, because I always forget to do that. So just go look at the Rodimus 13. Oh, shut up. Shut up. I've been very active in completely other things, such as 52 Toys, Power Rangers, and Black Series figures and things like that. I do have proper Transformer reviews coming up this week, with some small new Soundwave figures. If you guys are interested in that, you might be. I do have custom updates. If you are checking out Instagram and other certain groups, you have seen the custom that I've been working on. And I've been working on it. And earlier, I accidentally knocked over my custom shield, but knocking loose all the parts I had set in place to see how they looked. Thank God I took a picture beforehand so I know where they all go. And I put orientation arrows to make sure I knew which direction they face, because some of them are directional, like the way they're cut out to fit in certain places.
Doubled or something?
Yeah, so they're doubled per side. It's like armor plates going on the inside of the shield, because the backside is just flat. So I had to add some kind of detail to it. And I was practicing scribing to try to add some panel lines to make things a little bit more interesting. We're up to 23 already. Remember when we would struggle to get like 15 in like 3 hours, and we got 23 in minutes. So I love this. So that's cool. But yes, guys, let's see what else we got here. By the way, I gotta apologize to you Texans. I only recently found out there's more than sand in Texas, and never knew you had Everglade equivalents, alligator snapping turtles. Bless you guys. No joke. Growing up, like you know roughly the area I live in. So where my parents are is a little bit east, a little bit south from here. Was very country when we first moved out there, right? like we were from like the southwest side of Houston initially, so you know your way around, but roughly. Growing up, I think 7th grade thereabouts, on the school bus, dropping kids off in the afternoon. We're in the neighborhood adjacent to ours, and we had to stop because there is an enormous snapping turtle in the middle of the road.
Wow.
Huge. Like, you could miss it. Yes. You also definitely didn't want to run it over, even with a school bus. It was massive. So dude literally gets out, finds a huge like stick, like, you know, and goes out there, puts it out. The thing goes shonk, grabs the stick, and he throws it into the ditch. I was just like, so Everglades, and we're technically in the Great Piney Woods, or at least what used to be the Great Piney Woods, but Houston is also a swamp. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Houston is parts of Houston are technically below sea level, so it is actually a real swamp.
I remember growing up, we would learn about the different like regions in Texas, like the Big Bend Mountain area and the Piney Woods and the plains and stuff like that. And Texas is big enough that we have a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
and there's places in Texas where it's actually not uncommon for it to snow in the winter. Up in the Panhandle,
Dallas, the Panhandle, it snows. You got to think, we have mountains, we have deserts, we have almost like Great Lakes, we have massive valleys, we have swamps, we have super dense forests. We're almost like Madagascar.
The only thing that
is it Madagascar? No, New Zealand. That has, which one of those has like every type of climate on one island? Okay, so we're like New Zealand, but less pretty.
We only have one natural lake, though, in the entire state.
One natural lake?
The rest are dammed up rivers.
I guess technically speaking. We have roaming plains.
Facts I remember learning.
Yeah, we have roaming plains. That's where nobody has cell service. Deserts. Okay, I'd say basically most of West Texas is a desert, but there's like some small breaks. So it's not one continuous desert. That's why I would say that. I've seen some of those things when we drove back from Colorado and we came back in by almost near Amarillo, that kind of area.
Yeah. I was gonna say El Paso is pretty sandy, if I remember correctly.
Oh, super. Yeah, super sandy. But Odessa, which is more north in west, is also super, just nothing out there. But then there's parts of Dallas which are also like that, you know? It's like, it's weird. And then Austin is technically they call it the hill country, but it's actually the valley country. Right? It's like I know where it is.
Yeah, well, I miss the hills. I grew up in the Central Texas area, and I miss the gently rolling hills and things being kind of spread out. Everything's just like super condensed out here, and I don't like it that much.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so we are roughly 13 minutes in. By the way, sorry. Yes, Eric, I see you. Hi.
Hi,
there's somebody else I saw that I think is new to the. Could be wrong. Okay, yeah. So Kozanu 1. I just finished building the HGBD Love Phantom. Love the kit. Love the striker pack. Is so. And I'd rather not attack chit. Okay, cool. Yes, technically we don't have tundras. Yet.
Or permafrost, or
it's not Gregory. I just realized that it's Gerogi Zerkov. I've been saying his name wrong all this time. Gerogi Zerkov says, how many episodes in this ReRISE Battlelogue season will there be? I don't know. Why are you asking us? We don't work for Sunrise. 5. There, I'll say it. We'll just say 5. If there's not 5, I don't know what happened to the other ones. They said there would be 5. And if there's a 6th one, that's P Bandai. You don't get to watch that. There you go. Yeah, potentially 5. We'll see what happens. And a movie that doesn't tie to anything and actually just makes things worse.
We're talking about Kamen Rider Decade now?
The Gyms. No, I'm talking about that. Oh, you know what's crazy? I actually got my video talking about what is it? Not Jim's Revenge, but what is it? What was a movie called from Build Fighters?
Island Wars?
No, the other one. Well, I guess it's an OVA, not really a whole movie. The one where they fought the Gunpla Mafia.
Oh, I think Jim's Revenge is what it's called.
Was it? Either way, because of that, I don't think it was
or
Revenge.
Jim's Counterattack.
Counterattack. Because it had attack in the title, my video talking about it, or no, it was a review of the kit from it. It actually got blocked on YouTube because of the title.
What?
Because it's Jim's Counterattack. So because it said attack in the title. Well, it's just like when I had the my White Power Ranger.
Oh no!
Remember that? They
Plus
blocked
all the
that
stuff
too.
with the Balls for Balls contest.
Balls for Balls, but that wasn't blatant. That was censored without actually telling me. But these things were literally hit. Whoa! You can't do that with the title because nobody seems to understand that. Oh, maybe I need to check that. Oh, I did Power Rangers White Ranger. I didn't put White Power Ranger. So it's like that kind of came out wrong. Either way, YouTube algorithm can be a bunch of wusses. Yes, it is. National Pride Ranger. Shush, Jerry. Don't do that. YouTube, go home. You're drunk. They live here. That's the problem. Okay, so
We're in their home.
yes, since you're the one who made the notes, you do the thing because I'm going to be making all the pictures happen.
Okie dokie. So we open in space.
Oh, hold on. Wait. There we go. Now we open in space.
We open in space with two streaks of light bashing into one another. And we see it's the Quant and the Wing Zero Custom fighting it out.
Do we? Hold on.
We should.
Yes.
There we go.
I had to be on the right screen.
There it is. And the Quant is making sort of like a ninja hand gesture before it charges forward as the Wing Zero Custom with buster rifles stored in its wings, very much like the Verka.
Mm-hmm.
Or the new Verka, I should say.
I think it did that regardless. We just because where the hell else? Where else would he have pulled them out of?
It's something that's always been said. That's where it stores it. But I want to say until the new Verka kit came out or is coming out,
there's no kit that has it as the thing. So
I think maybe the there's like an action figure that maybe did it, but.
Also, we're just made to assume that it's an HG. How old is the HG version of this Gundam? Or is there even... I'm assuming there's an old Wing Zero HG kit.
There would be... I mean, technically, the 1/100 is an HG, the original. Because at that time, HG was just whatever they slapped the name on.
That's true.
And there were the 1/144 scales. I think might have in
old
Endless
one.
Waltz they were called HG, even though they were kind of before what we now know as HG were HG.
Sure. We don't see it happen in EW or in Endless Waltz. The only reason I say that is because otherwise he picked up his guns somewhere before going into the final attack on Earth. So presumably they were always there. And just no need to show it.
And like there's documentation that says, he stores it up in his wings. It's just never really factored into anything animated. I think maybe the manga shows something. Glory of Losers.
Jerry asked a question. Honestly, have they ever stated that GBN doesn't just normalize the size of all kits? I would say no. Because then regardless of size of kit, they would be roughly the same size. So therefore, they have to be relative size to scale to function. And larger kits wouldn't look at. I mean, it's entirely possible they're also using MGs. I guess they could. There's no saying that nobody uses MGs. We just don't see it because they want to sell HGs. Let's just be honest here.
I mean, I'm kind of assuming these ones are master grades just because the Wing Zero has the weapons being stored underneath it, just like the new Verka pre-order now, bug your parents.
Yes.
And I think we eventually see the Quant do something that I don't think the HD kit can do.
Cosano says, doesn't the high res keep the guns in the wings? I don't know. Also, who's to say that the Wing Zero isn't the real grade? Possibly, but in theory, actually, you know what? It's entirely possible they're not using actual kits, so to speak, such as just representations of said Gundam. It doesn't even matter, like straight video game, not actually having to have the kits.
Yeah, I mean, they refer to them as Gunpla, but yeah, they're not. It's all, as we'll find out, it's all randomly selected.
Yeah. Also, that's the other thing, that there's things in GBD that never actually get kits. So, you know, or don't have kits to be based off of. So either way, moving on.
So it moves its wings away to strike with its beam saber.
Yes.
Clash causes a bright flash, and the camera pans back to show Freddy is watching and commenting on the battle back at the temple.
There's a Freddy.
Okay.
So can I bring up something?
The way he's holding the mic, I don't know what's up with that, but I find it hilarious. So
you know what's weird? I think I do that. If I'm holding a mic, I think I do that.
Because you're classy?
No, I think it's an automatic thing because your pinky doesn't really need to hold it because there's no weight to it. So I think as a balancing. Also, let's just bring up an obvious thing here. Where did Freddy get a mic? And what is he speaking into that is projecting sound? Because we clearly hear it echoing as though he is literally calling this fight within the temple.
Maybe it's technology left over from the ancients or whatever, like the cards and the beam.
Let's just be honest, it's not. But something else I just realized. This might be, at least by representation, prior to them building the new structures in the temple that we saw at the end of the episode, because you don't see any of those things from these shots.
Oh, that's right.
Remember they were building like houses inside the temple or whatever? Those aren't present. So either way, the great question of 2020, where did he get the microphone? Where did Jigglypuff get the microphone? And why is it half Sharpie? I think because it was always a Sharpie, not an actual microphone. And Jigglypuff
the answer is obvious.
They're using Gunpla. Oh, that would make sense. Hold on. They're using the Gunpla that are there as speakers, or they're using a comm system through the Gunpla. That would make sense as to why those are there in the first place. Finally, somebody made a good point.
Because what we see is the kids are there along with Kurodorn, Huan Ai.
Hold on.
I don't know. I don't care if that's not his official name. That's what we're calling him.
Hold on.
It holds the mic the same way.
I'm telling you, it's not just a thing.
What about the referee guy in G Gundam? Somebody tell me if he does the same thing too.
I bet he does. Okay, so he makes the announcement. Yeah, he has a hell of a time saying this too.
Yeah, so see them with Kurodorn, Huan Ai, Maya, Stola, some of the others, and two repaints of the Core 2 Gundam.
You're going a little fast, but yes. So we get the Gunpla Battle Royale one day.
Yeah.
Or you read it, Gunpla Battle One Day Battle Royale. But now the question is this a big thing, or is this just sectioned off for only the divers? Because that's all we ever see. He does talk specifically about the divers versus the divers. First of all, his name is not Sombrero Eye. His name is Huan Ai. And no one knows where that hat came from. It was magically in the back of the truck when they picked him up, and he suddenly knew to put it on. So I've always wondered, what the hell? That is the biggest mystery. Microphone connected to the Gunpla makes sense. Where the hell did the giant sombrero come from?
Yeah, because the hat was in. We saw the hat before. It was in the back. He even borrowed.
He gets in the truck and puts it on. Yeah. So So here's the shot. I love that they just put it up on the big screen. Kudorn's even watching, and then we get our go buy it nows. So you get your G3 color and your Titans color version of your things. I always wondered if they were going to manage it. But here's the thing. So they have benches, which we know they can totally do. That's not a problem. So wait, they just ported in Gunpla to be surround sound? That's just funny. It's like, hey, this is the only way we can technically give them more technology. That's funny. The one day Gunpla Battle Royale, perhaps. I know, it's just how it matters how you put things together. And it said the blurb they put out said it was only for divers that played passionately, so main cast or main stars from the final fight. Maybe. I mean, technically speaking, we only saw where our people picked up and left off. It's entirely possible it kept going with other people. Yes, the G Gundam announcer holds it the same way.
Okay.
Boom. According to Anime Otaku Life Tatsuya. By the way, we're up to 31. Woo! Okay, so here we go. Here's our full cast of doggy people that we know. We got Maya, Stola, old Jurek, because he's always old Jurek. I'm not even that old. Then the two idiots, Calico and Zab. What's his name? It's Zab. It's not Zabza, but it's something along those lines. And then Kudorn just like, yeah, I'm still here.
I mean,
and
this
then
is my home.
we get
you guys
this.
This
is the best shot, technically speaking.
It's adorable.
Hold on. Jerry, did this feel like an extended end credit scene to anyone else? Yes. But also, like a lot of people pointed out the fact that they have the Build Divers logo on the leg, which I find interesting. You know, that's their flag logo.
If there's a sticker for that in the final kit.
It's not Zarbon. Oh, yeah, old Jurek, age 28. Yes. He's like, I'm not even the oldest in the village. Why do you people keep calling me old Jurek? It's like, dude, you were born 50. The whole coalition were passionate, but I guess the episode would be too long if they included matches for all them. I mean, we didn't even cover Hey, B-Nuts, by the way. Hello. Just saw you. Also, the fact that we didn't even get through all of the build divers on both. We only got through all of the ones on one side, not the other. I hope this is going to mean decal sheet. I got to wonder if they're including it in the thing. Have people, that kit's not out yet, so maybe this is a, oh, by the way. But it's not the first random decal to pull up in this episode. Well, technically it is the first random one. It's not the only.
Not the last one.
What about Riku's Gunpla? Which kit will he be piloting? No one knows, Alejandro Figueroa, because he's not in this. And it doesn't seem like they might have picked things very specifically, but also not. So I'm not sure. Kit got delayed to late December, early January, which means February. By the way, you can watch the Battlelog on Gundam Info on YouTube. Yeah. Where did you watch it? It's like, of course, that's where 99% of the people in the world probably watched it. What would Riku pilot? What do you think? Just real quick.
In this thing?
Because the Destiny's already gone.
Destiny's already gone. Could be interesting to see him just plopped into the actual grandpa or something.
I wouldn't say grandpa. I would say Sinanju.
Sinanju? That'd be interesting.
I think that would be interesting. Not even that. Hinata is technically a build diver as well now. Yes, but we don't know what she would pilot, or do we?
I know what she would pilot, but
yes. As far as I saw this sticker in a review somewhere. Well, that would be interesting, because if it's not out, how would anybody review it?
Yeah.
Heavy arms. Ooh, Riku in heavy arms. That would be interesting. A Zeta, maybe. He would be in the A Zeta. Okay. And then all the kids. And I like the fact that they've so adopted the One Eye that the kids are just hanging out with it.
She's like sitting on it, and
yeah,
just it's adorable. I love this scene.
Give Hinata an Archer. Somebody didn't watch Double October this year. No, Hinata has a Jin Kudo.
Yes.
Hot scramble. There is no hot scramble. All right, so moving on. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen. I gotta always remember to click over to the thing. Oh, so this part is great. So he's trying to describe the battle that's going on. He doesn't know shit about this, and he has this magic book that literally gives him the play-by-play of the Gunpla. And so this was the thing we discussed in the Discord. So the book is in Japanese, but it has little translated notes to Eldoran.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I figured you didn't because you didn't bring it up when we talked.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so this is cool. So this actually does, this is the XXGOOWO. That actually has all of this right there, with the exception that this is technically translated to English / Eldoran, not direct translation of the Japanese, which is quite funny. I haven't bothered translating all this over here, though. I can't tell if that's purposeful or not. I can't
Was
tell.
the text on the screen anything, or is it just
No,
gibberish?
that's the same thing. It's the same purple text at the bottom of the screen. He would use a TB ACK guy. What is a TB? Thunderbolt ACK guy. That'd be cool. Actually, we haven't seen any Thunderbolt stuff in any build divers things yet. Or did we? I think we saw a full armor. I don't remember. Juan, if her foot goes in my eye, that's funny. Google Translate slapped. Okay, so no, this was the thing I wondered. So, one, where the hell did the book come from? So that means this book must exist or is programmed as an item, and they brought it in. And either the incarnation system translated these notes, or someone else did it for Freddy. And it seems strange that it would translate physical objects, not just electronic screens.
If I remember correctly, in original Build Divers, there's the episode where it's the big race thing with the female characters.
Yeah.
And they have the part where they're supposed to build an actual kit while they're in GBN.
Yeah.
And they can keep the kit that they grab, but so it's in GBN. So they grab physical boxes, and so somebody grabbed like the I think it was
but that's GBN.
So most likely this is an item from GBN that Hiroto or one of them brought over and said, "Hey, Freddy, you like books about stuff? Here's a book about stuff."
Okay. Well, somebody was saying that's a Gunpla Bible, maybe. Also, the fact that we know who sells the book. Technically speaking, this is an ebook. Let's see here.
But I'm fairly certain this is an actual book. Just
it could be, but it's so simplified. And I'm not going to argue that point, obviously. I do want to translate everything that's on the screen. I just don't have time. I do know that there is a D and A. I think that's a G. No, it's not a G. Problem is, it's kind of. By the way, this is only on screen for like 2 seconds as the screen's moving. So actually catching this at a decent shot was not easy. But it's just the idea that it translated it on the page. But why wouldn't it just change the text? So it's almost like somebody made the notes to correct it for him, because it's curved to the page, not flat like it's a screen. So it's an interesting idea. Sand makes a Gundam into reality in Eldora. Yes, we are aware of that. Call me Pixie. We've done an entire thing. I was actually the one who discovered what the incarnation system was. It's PDF data. Yes. I'm just saying it's very interesting, the fact that the book is translated somehow on the page, but not the actual text. It's notes changed, like translation text. It's cool. No, that's fine. Call me Pixie. It's cool. Either way, Elon Musk FedExed it. That's funny. But yeah, you guys can tell that I had to pause it to get this shot, and I got lucky. Slap notes instead of stick notes. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they look like. It's just interesting. So it's reading off what the Wing Zero can do and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Oh wait, what is it? I'm sitting here like, okay, let me click away from this so the pause screen will go away so I can read. Oh yeah, this is an image. Okay, so that's an E H E A D Something head. Okay, so something head. Okay, so yeah, that's legit English. It does say something. It's just I can't tell what it is. Where's the word wing? Okay, so that's wing. No. Okay, so wing is right here, so that's WH. Okay, so that's not wing. I don't know what that 4-letter word is. Either way, guys, we're moving on. It's been a while since I've had to study my Eldoran.
So he goes on to explain that it's Pars in the Wing Zero and Ayame is in the Quant. Saying it's like these two usually use SD Gundams. And Par gets knocked around, losing the Buster rifles, but he fires off the shoulder cannons.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing about the fight. So he comes out with one Buster rifle, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
She's coming at him with the GN Sword 5 out with her, like she's doing her ninpo.
Yeah.
And I think I might have skipped it, but I think you said she kicks him, right? And like knocks the gun away.
Yeah.
I thought at some point she goes, but maybe that's after Trans Am. She goes on Trans Am. Which, of course, if you have a 00 Gundam, you're gonna go Trans Am.
At least once, just to say to do it.
Yeah, especially because it's the Quanta. It is. I don't think it's Behead, by the way. And by the way, Mr. Mecha Guy does not like the wings on the Wing Zero custom. See the beam emitters? Oh yeah, of course. They gotta draw the details. Everything is slightly simplified, but also looks very good at the same time. But I do love the Trans Am shot, so you get the after image.
Yes, very
and
cool.
Then the fun part is, like, she comes in with a later attack to stab him, but goes into quantum burst mode, which is crazy. So she's coming in to stab and goes quantum burst, ejects the armor, puts out all the GN condensers and all that, and then puts out the swords into the GN quantum gate, and then just goes, and then just particles come flying across at the wing, and he's like, "What the?" It's a bit more than the 00. It's the original 00 used to do for quantizing in battle. This one literally is like, and then she just transports herself to another location to attack him. It's like,
yeah, she teleports right behind him to attack him.
Of course, because she's a ninja. Oh, yeah, I teleport right behind you. It's so funny.
He even refers to it as a Ayame.
Yes, exactly. Par would have an advantage since he specializes in GN-based suits. Yeah, but he's not in one. It's like he knows how to counteract Trans Am now due to his training, but he's not in something that has Trans Am, so it's not going to do him any good. He's in what is effectively a much slower suit in this battle. Omayawu Mu Shinderu and all that. Yes. Saw the second rifle under the wing. Yes, it was cool that they actually did include that. When that other shot, you could see the second rifle under the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then he defends himself.
So she's about to do a quantum slash, and Par distracts her with this weird Hiroyui figure.
Yeah.
Which Ayame recognizes as something from one of the specific SD Gundam releases.
Specific thing. And her reaction is amazing.
Because we gotta remember, she loves cute things.
Yes. So the big secret of Ayame is that she absolutely loves cute things, which is why she uses SDs. Par didn't use Zero System, though. No, that's true. And we do see other pilots taking advantage of their mobile suits / pilot skills, so to speak, that are built in. So in theory, he could have been using the Zero suit and it probably would have helped him. Or Zero System, I should say. But yeah, everybody got to have the waifu shot here. And then, oh hey, while you were distracted,
I now have both of the Buster rifles, and I'm shooting you point blank.
Yes. Oh, by the way. And she's like, "Oh no, I was distracted." Like, Dude, this, like, when it happened, I'm like, I went straight back to when I first watched Endless Waltz. I'm like, there it is. I wish they had recreated the shot, like that really awesome first shot when you see him staged to fire, and it's like really like amazingly like contrasted, thick lines and all that.
Mhm.
I wish they had totally recreated that here instead of just the down the barrel shot. I think the Zero system would make Par insane. Hey, it didn't make everyone insane. I mean, all of the wing pilots used it at one point, and they didn't all go nuts, just depending on how long they were in it. It's such an awesome shot. Yeah, I had May meme faces. Yes, that's true. So, who's a bigger super fan, Sei or IMA? Iori. Iori Sei is definitely a Gundam super fan, but he's all Gundam super fan. IMA is cute Gundam super fan. Different story. I'd argue that everyone in Wing is already insane. That's an incredibly good point. It's like everyone in Operation Meteor. Yeah. So I didn't get an actual shot of the beam blast to the face, but yes, it goes boom.
Yep.
And then we get this incredible shot here for all the cute furry people who love the furries. I know Carlos Reyes is all about this. Also, you know what's great about this? They kept the framing throughout, like it was an actual camera setup. So this same shot, regardless of when they come back to it, is composed exactly the same. Freddy's the same size, she's the same size, One Eye's the same size, just emotion or whatever has changed. And it's easy enough to do, but it's really nice to see it track, and they didn't change a lot. You know, they'll go to another position every now and then, you know, a lower angle camera on Freddy or a closer angle shot on them. But like, as I was scrolling through the pictures and I saw several of these reaction shots like this, I'm like, wow, they literally just nailed the framing of this just throughout. It was actually very good. Yes, Tesla effect. It's Juan Eye. I want a Juan Eye kit with the freaking sombrero. I do. There will never be a distraction scene like the one from Jim's counterattack. I don't remember that, if I'm totally honest with you.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember it, and it's anyway.
Yes. Okay, so we move on to the second battle.
Yeah, Parr explains like he learned to fight using traps. He learned to fight using traps from Hiruto, and Freddy laughs nervously about this, not sure what to make of it, but the kids are happy.
Yeah, the kids are loving this, which is great.
The scene changes and Parr lands on an ice area.
Oh, hold on. I just wanted to point something out real quick. Remember what somebody said about getting her feet in his eye? Her feet look. This looks like her feet are curled up in the edge of his eye. Like, look, the shadow underneath.
I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, but yes, I can see how I can read like that.
It almost looks like somebody's curling their toes over an edge. Actually, the creepy thing is they look like hands without defined fingers. And they have puppy paws, so it's kind of a which direction are those feet facing? I'm having a light bulb moment here.
I think it's supposed to be that they're kind of tilted upwards, but because there's not as much detail since she's further in the background.
Well, the weird part is this is a knuckle ridge. There's a hard line right here, not just a shadow. There's a line. So that's this. Now her toes are whatever their toes are curled over. She flat out has her toesies up in his eyes. Sorry. There's only the one. That's freaking weird. It's like Beast from X-Men. That's what I was thinking. Shadow is from the Souls. No, that's what I'm saying. Look, this is underneath, and this is a hard bent line. This isn't defying like the toes, and we know they have pads on the bottom of their feet, like animals. If they're not wearing shoes. She doesn't look like she's wearing shoes. If she is, her shoes are the same color as her skin, fur.
Which is a little weird.
That's a little weird. It's made for my brother. I just took his feet because they were bigger. It's a weird thing, man. What are their clothes made out of, if not other animals? Or synthetic cloth somehow. If it's moving, doesn't look at her face. His cheek spike on the right. What? I love this BATTLOGUE because we get to see Lead Gundam's old series. Yes, it is 100% a fan service episode.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not even gonna
Exposed
try to
eyeball.
argue.
Okay, so moving on, we go to Par on the glacier or mountain
He
range.
turns around and gets attacked by Captain Xeon and the God Gundam using the Chokyu Hao Din Iden, which is translated to Super King Electric Shadow Bullet attack.
Yeah, this, whatever the hell this is.
I cut and pasted that text into my notes. I was not about to try to remember how to spell all that.
So being me, I had no clue what was happening right here. All I saw was big orange and green swirly fireball thing flying at, and then Gundam head, and I just went, "Oh, this is straight up G Gundam." It's like I was like, it's just got to be a G Gundam thing, and then it zoomed in.
I knew immediately what it was when I saw it too, because I unlike some people in this have actually watched and appreciated G Gundam.
I tried to watch it. I never tried to appreciate it. But so then it gets into the weird, and it's already G Gundam, and then this
that is straight out of G Gundam as well. Where
I'm sure
times when you see their faces
through the
under
Gundam
the
head. But what's weird is it's not like the faceplate goes away; it just changes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it does
it's
that.
It's not like it's actually happening. It's like a figurative thing. But
yeah. He thought it was Master Asia.
It's weird. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird, but I think it's supposed to be.
well, Tesla effect. He keeps calling him Shisho the whole time. He's literally treating him as his master the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this I specifically made sure I got this exact shot because the heavy contrast and everything like that.
It's a very well drawn shot. I love it.
And this is super late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
Super. Like everything about it. But
we're
actually
see some more of it as we go on.
This is true.
So Par gets blown away by the God Gundam and it lands on the mountaintop.
Dude, he kills him. He kills him so fast.
Yeah.
Like he had no chance. Like there was no defending this. I mean, Wing Zero Custom really doesn't have defense.
If Par had activated the Wing Zero, had activated the Zero system,
he would have known it was coming.
Yeah. So
it would have known it was coming, and it would have started to move to block, even with the wings. Something. It's its only defense because this version doesn't have the shield, which proves that it's not the Verka. It doesn't have the shield. Also, a flight type Gundam trying to battle on the ground against a straight up brawling Gundam, it would have nothing it can do. Can we talk about how Par almost figured out Captain Xeon's secret identity? Yes. He goes, "Wait, is that you, Captain Rommel?" And he's like, "No, it's me." Or
he
General
was like,
Rommel?
No, it's Captain Xeon.
Oh, my mistake. It's like, come on. It's like they're just like, see, it's not as not obvious as we think. So how many people just don't experience Rommel at this point that there's no way they make the connection?
Maybe it's a Clark Kent Superman thing.
It must
be.
It's
like his team knows.
His team knows for sure. Don't forget Rommel McXeon reference. What? Rommel McXeon?
Oh.
I get what you're saying, but there was a reference there.
It sounds like he's trying to be like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. I wish we had a HG God Gundam that looked as good as this. The old one is chubby, lacks articulation. Give them time. They're redoing all the HGs with modern technology.
Don't we have a modern HG God Gundam?
No, I think it's just it's not modern, so to speak.
I thought they had released or maybe it's.
I think he just wants the better proportions, is what this person is asking for. Yes, and I caught the glint off the V-fin just for you nerds.
Nice.
Look, it's Kazumi from the sky.
Kazumi, it's his turn. He comes down from the sky with the Destiny Gundam.
Other people say we do have a modern revive, but apparently it's not good enough.
Okay. And the
this
kids
is
are
the
all
one
happy
that's
to see him.
This is the one that surprises me because of him being in Destiny, which makes me believe that they didn't necessarily get to pick. That doesn't seem like a Gundam he would necessarily use.
No, I mean, and Par even explained, I think, that it's all randomly decided by the computer system or something.
Yeah, that
it's just some happen to be more appropriate to their pilots than others.
Yeah. Eric is arguing that it was the high res. Oh, what if this was a high res versus high res battle? Both of these things exist in high res.
Does the Destiny have a high res?
No, not Destiny. I'm talking prior to this.
Okay.
Wing Zero Custom versus that. No, there's no Destiny high res. There's Destiny metal build, I thought. I don't know. They don't tell you what the kit is. They just tell you what the Gundam is, and that's fine. Oh yes, then there's the clash.
Oh yeah, and so he slashes down with the Arundite, the big beam sword, which Captain Xeon
catches, just straight up catches. For some reason. By the way,
he catches it and then breaks the tip off of it. And I was half expecting him to turn it around and shove it in.
What's funny is he's not breaking the tip because the tip is way over here, no pun intended. So this is the tip of the sword. He's breaking the center of the sword where it folds. So that would render it useless. Metal build is edgy. Now the God Gundam looks more like the robot Damashi. Yeah, but I don't think they can use those. That's why I think for the most part they're not using real kits here. They're just using representations of the Gundams at this point.
It's Gundam data.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Reminded me of Shimon from Build Fighters Try because he used the Destiny in close combat. Yeah, no, I felt that in here because he would use the Destiny to fight close quarters instead because he's a weirdo. Forgot about that guy. Yeah, the fighter. For some reason, one got a GM or Zaku, or no one got a GM or Zaku because it's a Gundam battle. Duh, Jerry. No, it wasn't Jerry. Sorry, that was Pixie. Anyway, so I was reading all the things. But yeah, I like this how you see the impact and it looks like it slices across the screen. But it's
the
cracking
animation
the iceberg.
This fight in particular was really, really good.
Yes.
And so after snapping the blade, he roundhouse kicks him away too.
Yeah, I couldn't get all these things because some of these things were happening in like 5 frames. It was really hard. Right. It was so fast. By the way, here's the book, which this is a legit like ID code. Like, so it's got to be a real book. Did you look up
the ISBN there?
No, I didn't.
I almost did because I was curious if it would come up and if I could figure out what the name of the thing is. But I like how we get there's our Patrick.
There's our Patrick cameo. But I also didn't bother to translate anything that's on the cover of this book.
No, but this is what tells me that it's a specific, actual real life book because the way that cover is designed is way too specific to be just some random design that they threw together for the episode. Particularly since we only see this for like what, a second?
Yeah, easily. Hold on, I want to see. Distract the people. I'm gonna try. Now, if you're looking up an ISBN, do you have to enter ISBN or just the number?
Not a clue.
I don't know either. I'm gonna find out. -4 -0079 I assume you have to enter the dashes 0080. Yes, by the way, there's a whole website just for looking up ISBN numbers. Okay.
We're waiting with bated breath.
Find book. It might take a minute.
Yeah, I love that Patrick Kosar is on the little. I don't remember what the term is, but it's for the little paper thing that goes around the fronts of the.
Yeah, it's like a sleeve. Also, you know what? Maybe it's because it was set to US, it didn't find it. Let me see here. Bring the thing to a halt.
High quality YouTube here, folks.
Also, I love the fact that 0079 and 0080 are part of the ISBN. And then Nakuru. Okay, so could not find that offhand.
Okay.
It would be interesting if I scan the barcode. It'd be like use the barcode reader. Obviously, book will be released at a later date, possibly.
It could be a brand new book. Yeah, that would be.
It could be something that's still coming, but it does look official. So
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. I do want to know what it says over there by Patrick, but it is what it is. I see a 00 in red letters there, so maybe.
Anybody who can read Japanese, take a look at that and let us know.
Anyone gonna help? I'd certainly buy that for 800 yen. Yeah. They're periodically released Gundam Vitals, release showcase every kit released to date. I'd kill to get one. Okay.
Well, it's like I have it's not Gundam specifically, but I have what I call my big book of giant robots, which is a book that it's like the history of robot anime, and it has little entries about every mecha anime up until like 2002 or something like that.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hold on, let me just do a quick thing.
That's something I could probably show off one day on the channel or something. Of course, it's all in Japanese, so I don't understand any of it, but it's cool to flip through.
In one book, understand 4 times world. Okay, it's trying to do the active thing.
Oh, is somebody trying to translate it?
I am. It didn't quite get all of it. Select you can understand with one book, country something, Gundam Encyclopedia. So yeah, it is basically a Gundam Bible.
You can understand with one book, Gundam Encyclopedia or something.
Kind of, but it's all broken up a little bit. It didn't quite catch some of it. Hidden behind the wrapper, crown. What? Put the top checks out. 00 Gundam dating book. Interesting. Everything in the world's picture book. Gundam Encyclopedia. There you go. Someone did translate it.
There we go.
It's probably something akin to a real book if it isn't actually one. But yeah, the ISBN is probably just references. Moving on. And Freddie gets real excited about things.
Yes.
He gets real excited about the God Gundam for whatever reason. I don't know why anybody would. It's a stupid Gundam.
Let's see. Freddie announces who they are and what suits they're using, reading from the book, which has Patrick on the cover. He calls it a battle between master and disciple with stars in his eyes. That's the part he's getting excited about because it's
So this is interesting.
Gundam Bible, helping people starting religion.
Well, and then somebody else said
they already did Sacred Vessels.
Yeah,
they referred to the great builders and stuff like that.
They referred to them as sacred vessels before they realized what things were. He has the knowledge now of what's really going on. Mm-hmm. They're not gods. What are the odds that Cosme would get a seed suit? Same odds as 2 of them getting IBO suits. Duh. But why would it be the Destiny?
Cannot deny his destiny.
Yes, you can. I don't know. Actually, I think Impulse would have been better for Cosme because he was entirely impulse driven as a character. I'm going to build a God Gundam just so you can review it. I refuse. I have my G Gundam shields up. You can't literally bring anything into the cave if it's G Gundam.
I made a no G Gundam sign for him. He does.
No, you sort of did. It never came to fruition. Okay, so this was the moment. This was the moment that I hated out of this whole episode. Yes.
Oh, come on. This was fun. This was hot-blooded shonen action here. Come on.
No, I hated him because the way he said Cosme was so flat and boring, and Cosme was getting more fired up. So he's like, Cosme. Shisho! Cosme.
Cosme!
I hated that. Well, no, he never really like screamed it. He just kept saying it the same way. And it's just like, but then he told him basically, don't call me master. I don't see you as my disciple. You know, that kind of thing, which is cool. He's like, look, man, I'm not your teacher. I'm not above you. It's destiny. Yeah, I know. I understand. That's the point of what's coming up. Flammy Pow.
So
the way they end
Captain
the battle.
Keon says he won't call him his disciple. You got this far on your own strength, knowledge, and friends. From now on, keep walking on your own path.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm missing comments. Blue Destiny is better than Destiny. Yes, I agree. But not a real Gundam. Technically speaking, not a Gundam.
What if we painted Destiny blue?
Yeah, because Cosme is a seed guy. Yeah, but he's a very specific seed guy. Just saying. Fight, kiss, kiss, kiss. That's funny. Yeah, but the funny thing is, I think they did headbutt in this because they kind of come together and there's like bright flashing lights, and then they come back to the ground. So like they leapt.
They have this scene, and then they quickly flash back to the mobile suits, and you can tell they're actually right up against each other, and then they back apart.
Yeah, so it's like they really did like jump together and like headbutt more or less. And then the attack happens.
Yeah, so the two power up and charge at each other. Captain Xeon using God Finger and Cosme using
Shin Finger. No. He used Shin Finger is what he used. We're not going to call it what it technically is. It was the Shin Finger. And I literally rolled my eyes so damn hard when this happened. I'm like, why the hell did they do the Destiny? And then he does this. And I'm like, God damn it. They're doing the Shin Finger, which is the stupidest fucking thing he did, because it's not what the Palma Fiacina is technically for. But Shin, being the asshole that he is as a pilot, he's like, I got a gun in my hand, and I'm going to point it directly at you and call it a finger. No, it's a palm. It would be Shin Palm, you jackass.
I'm sensing some anger
Shin
towards...
People hate Kira. Shin is the worst. He's not even a good pilot. He's just good at planning. Either way. If you count Stargazer, you count Red Dragon, Asteroid. Oh God, I don't know what the hell they're arguing about. They're arguing about seed Gundams. Which one's the best?
I don't know. I just like the mobile suit designs in Seed.
Yeah, wrong angle for Vulcan greeting. Hyper high five. Yeah, this is the most like hardcore handshake ever.
I was calling it like the epic high five, and then we get to how they finish off the battle.
Yeah, because of course you think that they're gonna, smack together. Well, high five would have been interesting, but strange.
I thought it was gonna end in a high five. I literally thought.
Yeah. Yes, guys. By the way, if you are interested in actually debating which Gundam would win in a multi-universal matchup, we have a channel for that in the Discord, and there will be an actual debate series set up for that. So anyways, what I thought was going to happen here is what happened in Build Fighters when he did the Shining Finger or God Finger or whatever, that I'm going to touch you and make you regret your existence. YouTube, don't take that out of context. Where like he would have hit him and then everything behind him explodes and all that shit. One of the most epic things from Build Fighters Try. And then no, that's not what happens. Instead, they're reaching out to each other.
They collide. A massive energy flies out, destroying the area. When the dust settles, they are shaking hands and laughing. The battle ending in a draw.
I had that shot, but it's not there where they actually collide. I might have missed it. But actually, I love this shot right here. It's phenomenal.
It's very well drawn.
But what I find cool about this, because of how the Shining Finger works, it's just concentrated energy coming from said palm, that the shield emitter on the back of the hand is blown out.
Yes.
So he actually did emit that out towards the hand, whereas the Palma Fiacina wouldn't have done shit. It's actually one of the weaker weapons that the Destiny has that isn't a Vulcan. It's stupid. The way Shin used it was even stupider.
Oh, that's right. You just hate the Destiny Gundam in general.
Destiny is stupid. It's a terrible amalgamation of the technologies of that universe. Technically speaking, Strike Freedom is a much better example of the technologies available being used properly. Seed was just them throwing whatever they had at the fucker and just said, let's make it work. Let's see what happens. I hate it. They reach out like lovers drifting apart in the night. What would have been funny is if somebody, I know there's artistic people who are in the fandom here, have them doing the thing where their hands are coming together and their other arms are out like this. You know how they do those shots. I think they did that with May and Eve, or May and Sarah in the intro to last season. Something along those lines where their hands are out like this and their other arms are out. Somebody do that, but with Kazumi and Captain Xeon. You cannot escape
that. Or change it from, instead of shaking hands, their hands are gently touching each other's cheeks.
Yes. Hey, you can totally escape the Destiny because it can only fly forward in a straight line. By the way, its thrusters work. I really thought he was going to actually do the Wings of Light and all that nonsense, which is weird that he didn't. Like, so the God Gundam does its whatever that thing is where the wings open up and that stuff, but the Destiny didn't go Wings of Light to come in for the attack, which I really would have thought they would have done.
Well, I mean, you have said that the Wings of Light are literally nothing.
Exactly. It's peacocking. They don't do anything. They're stupid.
Now, but while with the God Gundam, that is part of the power-up process, I believe. So,
yeah. Flamey Pal, I agree with you. Destiny sucks, but you like the suits that spawn from it. Yeah. I like, except for 00 Sky. That one can eat a dick. Which the 00 Sky borrows from the Destiny and the God Gundam. So there's that. This is your Riku reference. It's exhaust. Build animers know that. Yeah. No, it's not. It make it go faster forward. That's what Wings of Light do. They go that way really quick.
It looks cool.
That's literally, it's the rule of cool. And yes, if you do the splits and open your wings really wide and make sparkly stardust come from it, you can defeat an enemy that's in front of you. And use that animation all over the fucking place. Yes. Yeah, he couldn't beat Kira in the Destiny, the most ultimate Gundam ever. But they give the psychotic clone the Providence. Sorry, not the Providence, the other one. Either way, draw. It's a rematch. It's a draw.
Yeah, Freddie said it was supposed to be a battle, but they became closer instead.
Don't get ahead of us, Tesla Effect. We're getting there. We can also agree Gundam Destiny Sky is way better version of the 00 Destiny combo. Sky is stupid. Okay, yeah, Legend. Thank you. I forgot that one. It was so legendary. Such a stupid Gundam. Look, it's an IBO Gundam.
Yeah, so the scene changes again. We see the Gundam Bail and Maggie striking a pose out in space with the Gundam base recolor of Mobile Doll May.
Well, yes, but we see the Bael first in all of its regal glory. And the first true introduction of IBO Gundams into GBD.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, they can do it now. Now, yes, this is technically extra, and they can probably go, that doesn't count. It fucking counts, and you know it. You know it, Sunrise. Kiss my ass. But this... And I get that maybe there was a glimpse of something, or, oh no, that's what the thing is supposed to be, an IBO Gundam. It wasn't an IBO Gundam. It wasn't a Gundam at all, so eat my ass. Anyways, so we get Bael, and of course, McGee has this one. You got me doing it, Maggie. You say McGee. It's canon. It counts. Thank you. Is that a JoJo reference? Damn it. Might be. This might be a JoJo reference in and of itself.
Yeah, I don't know enough JoJo to know if it's an actual poster. It looks like he's doing the Vogue in
that we missed that comment.
It's not a handshake, it's a man shake.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's not cool, Gold Cat. I'm not even going to share that comment. That's not cool. Tesla Effects says it is a JoJo pose. Pixie says it's not a JoJo pose. So it's like, which one is it? Is it not? We got literally contradicting comments. Manshake sounds dirty. Yes, it does. And oh yes, and I think somebody said we finally get Bile in HD or something like that. That's not true? It's the same resolution.
I'm pretty sure IBO would have been broadcast in HD.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of cool, and it's funny that they went with Bile. But this is literally like, hey, we're gonna have an IBO Gundam in here. No big deal. We won't have another one.
I love the Bile design. It's one of my favorite ones out there. The wings are so cool.
I think that. Oh, they're saying Maggie's a JoJo reference. Yes, Maggie is definitely a JoJo reference. But I think that this is literally just because Maggie is the way he is. It's just, yeah, it's just being a flamboyant show person.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Which, given what this Gundam is, kind of makes sense. Because it was all about the peacocking, actually, in IBO. Just flashy posing. Makes sense. And then we get the recolor of May.
Yep.
But at this particular point, we don't know what the recolor is. But you went ahead and said it in your notes. But
because it's been shown, the kit's been shown off.
I haven't seen it. That's why it was a surprise to me. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit actually.
I haven't seen it.
Because I was always kind of weirded out by it because like it's a weird color choice and there's no explanation for it other than it's a Gundam based recolor thing.
That's literally all
like,
it is.
Where did this come from? And apparently,
you guys can repeatedly say that they showed it a long time ago, and I can continually say I never saw it. This was like a whoa! Look at the recolor of May. You guys think I look at everything when it comes out on the
yes we do.
No, there's a reason I don't do Gunpla news because I don't want to have to keep up with shit.
You have no life outside of this channel. You exist solely for Gunpla YouTube.
Said it was released before ReRISE ended. No, I probably was building the May at that point and was not paying attention to what kits were being released, especially Gundam base, because it's just like, never gonna get a hold of that. And then he said, "Hey, look at all the Gundam base kits you can buy. Do you want any of these? They're all clear." No, thanks. Are you sure? Because we have them. No, I'm good. Thanks. All right, we'll check next week. That's literally what my email looks like. If you sign up for P Bandai, that's what your email looks like when they have shit like that. Did you know MG Natalie is coming? No. I knew the MG Virtue was coming, and I put 2 and 2 together. We'll just get the shell. We're not giving you the innards. I mean, I post everything new in the Discord. Yes, Jerry, but sometimes you post 75 things at once, and it takes me 15 minutes to scroll up. I think it's cute. She uses an old school controller to control the Neo Zeon. I mean, it's the same way she controls the Wodan Pod, which is canon. But I like the idea. Yes, I like the recolor of this May. If I had this kit, I would totally get it. So realistically, I'll just have to repaint one. I mean, the only thing that changes is the shirt color, so to speak, right? Everything else is the same. The hair color's right.
I think like the hair is actually white instead of gray.
Oh no, we're really bending the colors there. It would be the same thing. I think it's literally just swapping the blue for what other color it was. I don't remember. I painted mine. It gets confusing. I don't remember what the actual colors are. It's a teal color, right?
The white runner is probably it. The white runner has been replaced with blue, and I think the gray has been replaced with a pure white.
Yeah. That kit went up for Virtual Expo on the in a P Bandai site. What did? Hopefully Natalie is in the Virtue, not confirmed yet. That would be bullshit if you had to buy a separate MG Natalie. That would be horseshit. What's the point in buying the Virtue? That means it's the same as the HG. And I would not do it. It's like, I would get a double October. I'd be like, don't buy this shit. This is the stupidest mistake Bandai has ever made.
Yeah. I'd be inclined to agree.
Okay, so Maggie is like, so why are you using this? Why aren't you using your normal Gunpla that you wanted to use? I think it also brought up the idea that you're not technically using a Gunpla, you're using your body or something like that. I didn't quite catch that conversation because it was going so fast. There's something along those lines.
Well, the exchange I thought was kind of cute because it feels very much like a parent talking to their child.
Yes.
Because he's like, because May goes like, do I have to use it? It's easier to move in this.
Yeah, I remember May saying that, which makes sense that her body is easier to move around in. There is the point that was kind of hammered home with this one, even though it's really obvious. So first up, we had Par versus IMA. You know, the two people with transforming SD Gundams.
Yes.
And then we literally get Rommel versus Kazumi, hero, student, you know, one worships the other, things like that. Now we get mama and daughter, so to speak. And then the next battle is, of course, literally, you know, leader versus follower, all these things. So everybody has a almost direct connection to the person they're fighting. You know, you try to customize the MG Virtue into Natalie armor. You kidding me? That's too much damn work. Like, here, let me cut this apart. Dude, if they did it with the no grade and didn't do it with the master grade, people would rage.
Yeah.
Because I keep all week long, no joke, since they showed off the MG Virtue, the comment section of the no grade is literally like, did you see the MG? The MG's coming. Did you see it? Yeah, I saw it. Jerry posted it. Actually, you told me, and then I saw it. You actually told me I hadn't seen it.
I felt a little bad because I felt like I spoiled it for you or something like that. But I figured you had already seen it because you would have been something like that would have just jumped out to you.
Yeah. Well, that's because I hadn't seen anything except for like the few things that were posted in the Discord. Little did I know it was 75 pictures in a row. It's like, you see 30, you just assume. Champ has more presence than season 1 protagonist. Yeah. Was it stroke inducing the comments? Sometimes. Anyways, so the idea that she jumps into the Neo Zeong to buy it now. You can't buy
and
it
actually, because I noticed that in the subtitles it's Roman numeral 2 Neo Zeong. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked up on Gundam Wiki, and that's how it's spelled. So I don't, even though I think we call it like Neo Zeon 2, I think it's actually supposed to be like this, just straight up the second Neo Zeong or something like that.
I mean, technically it is. It's right one way or the other.
Yeah, it's
another Neo Zeong.
That I never realized how it was actually spelled out. It's sort of a, you know, Mandela effect kind of thing.
Yeah, and I would build both if I could, but I didn't have the money to buy the first one. Certainly didn't have the money to buy the second one. But I know people who did, and it's gorgeous. I love the color scheme of the second one. Neo Zeong, does it exist in these colors? Yes, it's the narrative version.
Yeah.
To go with the second Sananju Stein to really make things confusing. Wait, where did the other Sananju Stein come from? There were 2 of them. It's called retcon.
Really, technically. No, never mind. Sorry. The first Sananju Stein became the regular Sananju. Yeah.
Incorrect. Neo Zeong 2 Electric Boogaloo. No. But I love this. I made sure I got this scene because the other thing they added was the pulsing thrusters for Bael as it's getting ready to dodge the massive attack. And by the way, I want to point out the fact that these finger cannons for the Neo Zeon completely useless. It doesn't get a hit on anything that she's trying to attack.
No, because everything's too fast.
Yeah. Everything's too fast to be hit by the beams. But something we didn't point out earlier. Maggie is actually using the swords as a shield from May when May's shooting at him.
Yes, I did.
Literally going ding 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 ding. I was like, can somebody go back in time and show McGillis how to do this? Because this showcased something that Bael could do. You know, Maggie was a better pilot of Bael than McGillis, who actually had an AV system. He just wasn't that good. I'm just going to be honest. Ace Pilot turned to shit and was supposed to be the king of Gundams.
Well, didn't he he came out with the Bael and was like, I have this Gundam now. All of you will listen to me. And they're all like, what are you talking about? Shoot him.
Yeah. It was so dumb. But then
yeah. I love his line, by the way, where he says, like, oh my, it's like, my dear, you've gotten so big since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, a little weird, but it makes sense. Then I love the two-dimensional boom.
Yeah, so flattened.
It was so cartoon all of a sudden. Like, I didn't get it, but like the actual 2D drawing of Bael flattened is so funny. Like everything else up to this point had been serious with a hint of silly. This just went full Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes, and I loved every moment of it.
Yeah. And this was where I got I didn't know, because I don't look at things, that there was a Gundam based version of our good old May doll here, to the fact that it has a big ass Gundam base sticker on the hair. And I went, one, that's cool because it's a Gundam base exclusive. Two, because the Gundam base is kind of her home. So it's like literally like wearing your address on your shirt to work. You know?
Well, no, her home. She lives with.
Technically, yes, but everybody who protects her is a Gundam base employee. She's kind of Gundam base. Sort of property in some ways. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying. Bael's lack of screen time continues. Yes. But better death. Swords didn't get broken. the supposedly unbreakable swords. Can L-divers switch bodies? No. And do you mean into different dolls? Maybe. If they needed a new one for some reason, I'm sure they could just move their chip. Because that's all it is. It's a chip installed in a Gunpla. Technically speaking, if she wanted to literally live in a Gunpla, they could do that. She is the property of those who built her body. We're not going to talk about the weird rights of electronic life form people who have come into existence. I hope that's not what season 3 is all about. Do L-dive. We granted you the ability to live, but we do not grant you the title of humanity. Mm-hmm. Seriously, it's the whole data
thing. Granted you the ability to live, but we do not give you a life.
Yeah, technically speaking, it just turns into Measure of a Man. Yeah, it's a fucking Next Generation reference. Look it up. One of the greatest episodes, even though it was old. And then anyways, here comes Champy Boy. Oh yeah,
so you've got a mobile armor. Victory, she narrowly avoids a blast from the stars. Look up, and there's the champ and the Strike Freedom with a meteor unit.
Yeah, which is an HG kit, so that counts.
Yep,
it's like it does count. These are technically HD kits. 2 of the largest HD kits. It's like the only way this gets worse is if somebody shows up at a Dendrobium. The actual
would have been
HD
awesome.
one, not the like 1-300. I hope we have a season 3. We'll find out. L-divers need human rights. Do they need human rights, or do humans need L-diver rights? Because then we get into the tricky thing of, well, I was alive on another planet made of sand. Hey, baby. Okay. Love you. Measure of Man was made pointless by the Picard show. Yeah, well. Divers need admin rights. Anyways, look, Strike Freedom. Yay!
Yay!
Everybody loves Kira.
In Japan,
then,
Strike Freedom and Gundam Seed are like some of the most popular stuff.
Yes. So this was a fantastic shot. And I swear to God, it has to be a reference to something else.
It feels like some sort of like new type like moment or something like that.
Well, the fact that May turns green like that is like, what is going on here? But then he turns like purple. Like, this has got to be a specific copy of a scene from something. I just have no clue because his eye is red. It's like, what is going on in this scene? This looks straight up JoJo. Guys, is this a JoJo reference? Or however the music goes.
So
Jesus, Yamato. Oh wait, no, I read that wrong. That's how it came about. Somebody was just exasperated with him, and they're just like, "Oh, maybe I'm gonna run with this." That's not what I meant. That's just funny. I kind of feel like the McGillis thing. I don't know. No. Yes. Now here we go again. Some people say no. Some people say yes. Is that a JoJo reference? Yes. Yes, it is. Are you gonna watch all of Gundam to find out? No. Because sometimes I think it. You know what? To me, it does feel like he's acting like Dio a little bit here. That's a little interesting. Apex narrative whips Dendrobium's tailpipe. That's funny. This is a Dio reference. See, Tesla Effect says this is actually a Dio reference. It seems like one. It implies the existence of Jesus in the Gundam world. He was not called Jesus within the world, but in theory, this is a future of our own existence. So potentially, yes. I don't know. Is there a big ass, but Christ the Redeemer statue somewhere? Which would be, because if there was, they would be very careful about having it destroyed in a battle or having the remnants of it left over after a battle. Well, in the UC, anyways. Is this a JoJo reference? No, this is a Patrick. Damn it. Make the meme. Make the meme, Thomas. Is that a JoJo? Is this a JoJo reference? No, this is Patrick.
This is Patrick.
You have to make
I still can't believe nobody made that reference back when that episode came out.
Not everything that also happened in JoJo is a JoJo reference. It can't be a reference within itself unless they're talking about something that happened in the past. Jesus wants a hug. Team 4-star Alucard. Okay, guys, if you have not watched the Team 4-star Helsing Ultimate Abridge, you must. It is a must because that version of Alucard is something else. And when he meets Cell from DBZ Abridged, it's amazing. It's ever so brief.
First of all, I was minding my own business.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Where he goes, oh yeah?
Yeah, so they banter back and forth for a sec, and then he slashes her in half.
When like they ran in close to each other, like they're like charging at each other, I just went, he's gonna cut her in half. Does she not know this thing has giant beam sabers on it? It's just like, and literally, what does he do? Cuts her in half with a giant beam saber. It's like, yeah, that's what would happen. It's like that thing.
To be fair, he's probably thinking that the armor on this thing would be enough to withstand against something like that. No, but I mean, she would be wrong.
See, the thing is, as we've discussed, oh yeah, because she actually came at him with the axes that Sinanju uses, which I thought was cool.
Specifically, the axes that come with that kit.
And that's interesting, but it was so dumb. I'm gonna get in close and then try to cut you with smaller weapons.
Bring me closer. I want to hit it with my sword.
Yeah, it's just like he's got bigger weapons than you, dummy. But what I would have liked to see ever so briefly is the moment, because this is where they don't necessarily copy the thing from the episode. So he has the chance. He's in a meteor unit. All he had to do was fire all guns like it does. You know, whenever he literally lets loose all the missiles and everything. It's like, for me, I would have gone with long range attack first for the showmanship, and then watch the thing come out unscathed, you know, with the eye field or something, and then come in close to clash. Just for the reference to the things that they are. That would have been me. But no, just rush in close and try to hit it with a beam axe and then get cut in half by a significantly larger weapon. She dumb. Get me close. I need to cut it with my butter knife. Hold on. Wait, if there are literal clones and full frontal is the second coming of Char, does that mean they could clone Jesus if they found the DNA and give Jesus a Gundam? It depends. Is Jesus a new type? I'm going to go with possibly. I mean, within universe, it's entirely possible Jesus was an early new type.
That is an interesting philosophical thought. One that I don't think I want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, so I think yes, but he had no Jaburo dirt to allow his true potential to come out because he never made it to Jaburo. So yes, entirely possible.
Ask the Mormons, in which case they say that there's evidence that Jesus went and talked with the Native Americans.
Yeah, in theory, but I just had the thought. I just had the weird thought that with this continuity, there could be a cyber new type Jesus clone.
That sounds terrifying.
It sounds like somebody would have a stage play about it. A very short stage play. Quote of the day. Yeah. They did clone Jesus. What? Jesus is the first new type. It's going to be a shirt. Is Jesus the first new type? So, no, I'm just not going to keep going with the blasphemy. Sorry. I would like to, but I'm not going to. A different thing. Jesus is a new type, divine coordinator, innovator that climbed out of Jaburo dirt. He became one with the dirt. Is that what it is? 3 days later, he moved the stone with Psycho Frame. Use Psycho Frame to move the stone. Is that what happened?
3 days later, he moved the stone 3 times faster.
Oh, Jesus. Literally. Oh, I'm down. Sounds like Super Mecha Death Christ, I guess. But much. Oh yeah, Super Mecha Death Christ was not the cyber. Well, I guess he would be the cyber new type clone. Is it all of them? Sometimes the people in the comments are funny. I'm in awe of how amazing this concept is. Oh look, May's exploding and there's a Gundam base.
Yeah. So as she's exploding,
why didn't she get out and attack him?
Maybe she got stuck.
Oh, that would suck. Like, I would get out of this, but unfortunately I can't. I guess it's obvious why she lost is because she's piloting with it with joysticks or buttons. That's probably why she lost.
But yeah, before she blows up, the champ goes, "It's good to know that a diver like you is with Hiroto," and she smiles as the mobile suit explodes.
Yeah. No. So said the Gundam Bible. Damn it. Oh God. It's getting worse. I gotta just stop. She has NES controls. So getting out of the Neo Zeon wouldn't do her much good. I mean, if she charged in and shot him square in the thing right here, it might. He's still incredibly close. And she has beam sabers in her gauntlets. She literally could have charged in, beam sabered right through his reactor right here. Because those are huge gun/beam things. It would take a second. I know he's the champ and all, but it could happen. I don't know. There's a lot. The Neo Zeon is so well equipped that this shouldn't be a problem. But does any of its psycho stuff work on non-psycho things?
Oh yeah.
I forgot to activate the enemy controller.
She didn't activate the big time travel ring thing.
Though not being a new type, yeah, it wouldn't be able to do the psycho ring. The halo. Oh, look, things happened. Yep. Okay, so this scene. Somebody shared the image of her. I always forget her name. With the sombrero, and I hadn't seen it. I totally missed it when I was watching. I was like, that is the cutest damn thing ever. But once again, the fuck does the oversized sombrero come from? It clearly can't fit them. It's not meant for them. Who had a novelty oversized sombrero in the ancient truck? Why?
It belonged to Sid. To Shido.
What?
It belonged to Shido. He must have brought it in with him one of the times he came in and left it behind.
Also, I want to point out the idea that the eye is not a screen like we saw before. It is actually concentric circles separated by black rings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting detail that we get to actually see in these up close shots. Also, how she's sitting on it effectively. I'm just saying this, like, how hard is it to sit on a very smooth spherical surface? You know, like I think when you're furry, you would think that you would kind of slide off fairly easy.
I know there's
weird logistics
on the top of its head, so maybe she's kind of nestled in there or something.
Well, yeah, if it looks like her foot is in that one little, like, whatever that lighter color circle is, whether that's a lump or a divot, I don't remember what they technically are. But it's just interesting that one can sit atop said one eye. Don't question it, just embrace a sombrero one eye. I just want to know, not only did he have access to the hat, he knew what to do with the hat because he put it on. They didn't put it on him. He put the hat on himself.
He put it on, and when the car started moving,
he held it on so it wouldn't blow away.
He readjusted it.
Why does the one eye know what a sombrero is and how to effectively keep it on his torso? Because it's not his head, it's just one body, you know. I don't know. It's like the show was very concise in a lot of things, and at the literal last second, it goes, "We're just gonna throw random shit at you." It's like, okay, thanks for that moment. I don't know what to do with my life now because this thing has a hat. It's like you broke my brain with this sunrise. But then the fact, like, okay, so the hat was nowhere to be seen prior to this once again, and then all of a sudden she's like hiding under it or playing with it or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it would have been funny if he was looking up at her, but instead he's watching the screen. Also, I love that they're literally showing this thing. This could be you. Remember when your people were killed by these? He should have PTSD.
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. Alice probably had data on. Yeah, one eye spy. That's funny. He brought it to work that day only to find out that his friends and boss were now dead. I still maintain that Alice enslaved the One Eyes, and the One Eyes were in fact the invading race that attacked them. Because they have sentience on their own, as we've seen. So I still maintain that that's what happened. Also, could you imagine you're watching this and at some point you were stuck inside one of these things? Like, yeah, I used to be in one of those until somebody blew it up and I crawled out of its head. It was a bad Tuesday. Alice studied the Tequila Gundam. MG One Eye would love it. I'd be fine with just a HG, like just a, hey, here's a ball with legs.
I would take a Haropla One Eye. I mean,
I don't even want it as a Haropla. I want the actual thing. Like, I want the proper legs. I want the eye that's actually molded properly and all that garbage. In different color purples. If it's all the same purple, I'm going to get real angry. It's 2 colors. Don't screw it up. That's all I got to say.
You've been warned, Bandai.
And then the moment that I knew how this was going to end.
Yeah, so as the blast subsides...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're right. Blast subsides.
And we see the battlefield change to over the Martian atmosphere.
Yeah. So the second I'm like, oh, they're changing to another planet. Oh, it's Mars. Oh, I know where this is going. It's literally like, well, he's not going to be fighting a vegan suit. I was like, I know exactly how this is ending. We get all the weeb points for this one.
And swooping in comes the Barbatos Lupus Rex, piloted by Hiruto. Takes out a huge gash from the meteor unit as he lands on it and smashes the mace through it, causing catastrophic damage.
Yeah, and he's literally while he's doing this, he goes, "This mobile suit was made to destroy mobile armors."
And the champ's like, not bad.
Yeah. The music the whole time was awesome, though. Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't use IBO music for this. That would have been perfect. As far as I know. Well, I was saying they didn't use the IBO like battle music for this.
No, they've been using the Bill Diver
stuff. The Bill Diver stuff, yeah. The I would be
some of the epic music when Kazumi and Captain Zeon were fighting.
Freddy pronounces Barbatos. Yeah, he was having a hard time trying to pronounce Barbatos. He's like Barbatos. I think, and like I said, that's probably a Mika reference how he was trying to say Barbatos the first time. War of the Worlds, Barbatos finally going down orbit. Never saw it in the anime. What? Going down from orbit, you mean? Yeah. When he says Hiruto, no, not reading that. Oh yeah, the way the champ looks back. This look, dude. Like it's another Dio moment. It's just
Did they share a voice actor or something?
I was wondering that. Like he was very much like that. I don't think so. Yada yada.
Yeah, because he actually that's what he says. He says yada yada, which they translate to not bad.
Okay, let me see here. I'm sure somebody's going to say it in the comments before I get it, but I'm not going to look until I find it.
Quick, see what you want while he's not looking. No, don't actually do that.
Please. Yeah, please don't. Let's see here. It would be useful if they actually told me who the cast members played, not just the cast. It's literally just the cast, not who they played. That's not very useful. No, I want the Japanese voice actors, not the English ones. Oh, this is already going so wrong. Let's see here. Tiger Wolf. Oh, that's still the English voice actors. That's not useful. Yeah. I cannot Gundam. Nope, that's still English. I'm not looking. You guys can comment all you like. I'm not looking. Okay. Cast. I want cast. Why is this being useless to me? Riku. No. I'm getting there. Nobody look. Koichi. Also, I was wondering if Mika and Hiruto are the same voice actor.
I don't think they're the same voice actor, but it's been a common comment that the two of them, their character designs are very similar.
Well, duh. Okay, so Jun Kasama is the Japanese voice actor. I love how we just bring things to a screeching halt sometimes. What the? My anime list. Let's see here.
I'd help look things up, but I don't have access to anything.
All good. I doubt it though, but it would be interesting. There's a lot of different things. There's Krantz in something. There's an Overlord. Doesn't seem like it. They're not. Okay. Didn't see Barbie ride in front of orbit on a graze. He was talking about the Rex specifically, Jerry. Yes, the he used the shield to fall to the earth, or he rode a Graze Ritter down to the ground. Do you think May used the Konami code while using this using the Xeon? No, she didn't, or else she'd have 30 lives. Here's a look like
when
Mika.
she was inputting controls, I actually went back and looked to see if perhaps she was did down, down, up, up, left, right.
I don't think she has select start buttons. So,
well, and her motions weren't correct even for like part of it. So no, she did not do the Konami code, which is a missed opportunity. And whoever animated that scene should be fired, because if you have a video game controller and you have a person inputting controls, why not do the Konami code? Why not?
Because maybe they can't. Maybe there's rights or something.
No.
I mean, maybe, you don't know. Why you gotta poop on things?
I poop on Konami.
Yeah. That's annoying. Once again, giving me English voice actors. Sorry, I was trying to look up to see if Mika was the same thing. So why buy a loss to the mobile armor May? Because he just got smashed. Voice actor sounds very different. Normal speaking voice too. It's not select start. It's BA select start. Yeah. Anyways, so moving on. It seems like it would have been interesting if there was some voice actor shared thing, because it's very IBO and then very JoJo.
So
repeatedly.
So when this happens, the kids get all excited to see Hiruto show up.
They're excited to see the Barbatos. Let's just be honest.
Huanai is scared though.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't get a shot of that.
I
have to go back and look.
It's very subtle, but his like pupil shrinks, dilates, and he starts shaking.
Let me go look. I wanna go see. Oh hey, I just finally reached 7,300 subscribers. Cool. Thanks to you last 10 people. See, that's the thing that sucks, is that it literally doesn't update for a while, so it looks like I've made no progress for like 2 weeks. But yeah, I love that it's not 100% like straight up like IBO like animation, but it's so close. Okay, so I'm almost there. I was actually right at the end. Okay, so there is Hiruto. Machine was made to defeat mobile armor. It's just the way he's looking down on him is crazy. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't think it's scared so much as just refocusing.
I don't know. The way he's shaking.
Pupil, I don't think he's shaking. He's just sitting. Okay. No. It's hard to tell. Hold on.
I was looking at it on my my computer monitor. So maybe it's more noticeable when you're on a bigger. Cut to internal camera. Cut to external camera. Cut to internal camera.
Almost like you're watching an anime. I mean, if they did that, fine. Well, I guess he wouldn't know what Hiruto necessarily looks like. He would just know. He might know the voice in theory, but like Hiruto did kill a lot of One Eyes, but technically Shido killed way more. Like way more. Let's just be honest here.
And if Shido showed up, probably we'd see One Eye suddenly take off to hide behind a corner, causing the poor little girl to get flung off or something.
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting into. We won't get into the specifics of things like that, Dylan. I'm kind of wanting to do an entire video just on the AV system from IBO and how it works and the reason it does what it do. But either way, they get to the ground. He technically rides the meteor unit down.
Yeah, so they go down and
crash explode.
We've been waiting for you, Mr. Hiruto, Freddy says. 2 mobile suits crash towards Mars. The meteor unit explodes just as the 2 disengage from it.
Yeah.
Champ fires beam weapons and they just bounce off the armor, and Hiruto fires machine guns that just bounce off his armor as well.
Yeah. I think that's where they had that interaction of, oh, well, the nanolaminate armor uses that word that you had to look up.
Nano laminate armor that
Attenuates.
attenuates beams, and variable phase shift armor that reduces impact damage. Which, when they brought this up, I was like, oh yeah, and I thought that was just a cool little thing to do.
They wanted a beam-proof Gundam versus a Gundam that wouldn't take much physical damage, at least from guns. So it's just interesting. Yes, the battle that sparked many fights, or a very long fight, and the banning of a particular person from the Discord. So yeah, there's that. There was a very long discussion about this battle. Also, if you look at the way he's using the mace right here, he's got one hand on the back handle and the other hand pushing forward on the blade, so he's driving it like this.
Interesting.
That's actually very smart, because otherwise he'd be holding it like this, like a broom that you're poking at something. He's not. He's shoving it forward, which is really awesome.
So does this also mean is he piloting the Bumptos Lupus Rex a little bit differently than Mika would have?
I don't think so. I think he's really piloting it very much in a similar manner, because he still uses this thing. I'm pretty sure Mika did do that at some point, but usually we saw him swinging it more than stabbing, so to speak. But in this case, he needs a more forceful point. And, this thing does have a little, rod at the end of it for stabbing purposes. So to thrust forward with all of the thrust plus pushing it would still make a big hole in something. I mean, that's basically how he destroyed the meteor. He drove the mace right through it. So I will go into the basics of it, and then I will not take any replies when we get to that part, because it's been scienced out already. For those who want to argue, it's been scienced. But either way, they have this nice little scuffle.
Yeah.
I love the idea. He runs at him with the mace, and then Champ flips over him, shooting down at him upside down, which is really cool.
It's very Matrix.
Well, we also never saw the Strike Freedom really do anything at ground level. It was almost always in space.
Or flying or hovering up in the air.
I say almost. I know that initially he was on the ground, flew up to space to get it, and then kind of came back down with it. But not straight up ground battle. People did grab on the blade for extra leverage. No, I understand. Basically pushing on the guard or the hilt to shove it forward. Yes, I mean, you see that in sword battles. Yes, I understand. Does anyone else see the tail bending in the screenshot? Tail bending. Oh, it's just kind of pointed up. Yeah, I mean, it is still moving. I got one. It is kind of flopping backwards a little bit with moving forward. I mean, it is what it is. Whether that's purposeful or not makes sense. I just love that shot of the strike. It's just cool. And then we get this moment. So let's just go over it. He rips off a Dragoon, activates it, and attempts to stab the shoulder. The nano-laminate armor, as described in the wiki, deflects beam energy and particles. There's no argument about that. It literally goes, it disperses beam attacks. We know what it does. So when he activated this, he had two goals potentially in mind. He's not going to melt through the armor necessarily. It doesn't burn off. It can be scraped off, and it can be damaged by physical attacks, because it is essentially just really fancy paint that it makes your armor both beam proof and a little bit more damage resistant.
Right.
So his goal here is to not necessarily go through the armor, but to remove the armor. We have seen this happen with swords in season 1 of IBO. They literally cut the shoulders off.
So he was probably trying to get in right between where the shoulder pad
Yes.
So
And
that way he can get into the inner frame and as well as pry the shoulder armor off, which he does.
Which he does do. And the thing is, he doesn't pry the whole shoulder off. He pries off only the armor. The actual mounting point is still there.
Yep.
So, and then you see it land damaged, which is the next shot. It is damaged from the impact, not the beam. So the beam itself is not really going to be doing much to the armor. It's going to just be scattering. Not to mention it's a Dragoon beam for whatever that means. It's not technically ever used as a beam saber, which I think is really weird, but I guess if one can do it, why not? So his goal here was probably to take the arm off, but if you got the chance, you push the thing to the thing that reflects beams, and you can see he's doing this number, trying to do the thing. Champ's trying to get in there, and eventually he does, and he pries the shoulder off with the big metal Dragoon that is being jammed into the shoulder. It's not that the beam cut through it. You can see it wasn't penetrated. It was bent and then pried off. Now, had he gotten closer
to it's kind of flaring out.
It's peeled back. I mean, right there. That's the front of it. It is literally peeled back and the armor is all jacked up. We know that the Gundam armors can take a hell of a beating and the paint stays on. We see that. The paint's still there and there's no hole in it, which means your beam didn't do a damn thing. He just pried it off the shoulder. Whoop-de-doo. So the beam wasn't doing anything. What he was probably hoping to do is get the beam past the shoulder armor between the joints because the frame is not coated in the nanolaminate paint.
Yeah.
And that he could burn through, no problem. But if anybody's smart enough, they're going to go, nope, and push it towards the thing that will easily deflect the beam.
Yeah, maybe he was hoping that he could get the arm disconnected or something like that. So that way that's... Because also one of the things that Hiroto was doing just before this was he was swiping at him with the Barbatos's claws, which we do know is a fairly effective weapon.
Yeah.
Also, if he loses an arm, it makes it harder for him to wield the mace.
Hey, he can wield it one-handed, but it's less force, as we know.
Yeah. So basically, he's probably Champ is thinking it's like, okay, if I can
take off an arm
off.
Well, that would also be very IBO to go ahead and rip off one arm, especially the right arm, which seemed to be the one that Mika lost more often than not. And then, yes, I mean, like his goal was to do something, but you can see in this shot, everything under the armor is completely unaffected, which means nothing he did damaged anything past taking off the armor shoulder. We had way too big of a discussion about whether the beam was effective or not. You can see there, it's just beat to shit. It's not burned through. There's no hole. The beam did nothing. Hell, the Dragoon is still intact. You can see it over there because he doesn't have a physical sword. He's got nothing else. So what are you going to stab it with, so to speak? It's like
now,
so literally...
something that just came to mind. Do you think
that's not true, Blockio?
Hmm?
That's not true. The frames are beam resistant.
Oh.
That's why we see shit get melted by the beams.
The shoulder armor.
Yeah.
So the nanolaminate armor is basically paint, for lack of a better term, basically.
No, it is paint. It is straight up paint. Yeah.
Do they paint both sides of the armor?
Oh, do they paint the inside?
Yeah.
I would think so. I would think that they're better than most of us, and they actually paint the inside. Because I mean that would make sense that it would be resistant all the way around, you know, just in case.
Because I could see that as one of the things maybe he was thinking. It's like, okay, maybe they don't have the nanolaminate armor on the inside of the shoulder armor, so maybe he could do some damage to it by getting the beam in just the right angle or something.
Yeah. Which, interestingly, might, if you get it under it, might actually have a refractory idea and shred whatever's under the armor. In theory. The idea that maybe you could pound your way through or scrape the paint off and then get the beam through also makes sense, because the paint isn't permanent. You can scrape it off through damage. Also, yes, it's a lot of layers, so to speak. That's why it's...
You could also had the beam on from the Dragoon, with the hopes that it's like, okay, this thing is super hot. Maybe if I just do enough. It'll do something.
Superheated things can melt the armor. That's just a given.
Mm-hmm.
But in theory, a beam that's all of its energy is being deflected away isn't transferring any heat through it, because it's the energy in the particles that would cause the heat. If it's completely deflecting them, then that wouldn't be a thing. So yes, and he has rail guns on the hips. Yeah, I mean, like, he could have done a whole lot of things at this point. Being that close, he could have used the hip guns to fire at the torso where there's literally nothing going on, but he was just literally doing the thing he was doing. But there is something that's interesting to note that I don't know if it's here or right before this, when he fires at him and he uses the mace to deflect an attack, which means the mace is coated.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't explode. It deflected that. That's not how you use a Dragoon. Yeah, that's what a lot of people said during the premiere, apparently, in the comments. That's not how you use a Dragoon. Hey, don't tell people how to use a Dragoon.
Well, I saw somebody say that the Dragoons aren't really meant for use in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think they're probably in 0G only, if I had to guess.
They can't fly around and stuff like that.
Yeah, they probably have no ability to hover. So it would make sense if he used it.
Very few Gundams with basically funnel-like weapons are able to use them in the atmosphere. The main exception being the fangs from 00.
Yeah, because they can use GN. Well,
the GN particles can move them around, and supposedly,
I'm trying to think.
Some of the Minotsky-based ones might be able to, because Minotsky particles have a similar effect to the GN particles.
These don't do that. So,
mm-hmm.
Well, I did have a question. When did in narrative, didn't they use like wired funnels inside a colony? With the didn't the B packs? Is that where
like the C packs come from?
The B packs, I think.
The B pack. Oh, I don't remember.
Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember that
narrative once?
Does anyone remember that? Didn't he use the? Okay, pretty sure only seed funnels that can be used in atmosphere are the chaos gun barrels. Yeah, ones that have thrusters in all directions would make sense, but Dragoons don't necessarily do that. Okay, so people are saying yes to my question. So yeah, they use the B packs that were wired funnels in the colony, but colony also has forced gravity, not real gravity. That's inertia. Yeah. So that makes sense. Never mind. Cubely funnels are whoa, that jumped. Are size of large traffic cones. That seems way more threatening realistically than it's like, just imagine being attacked by a bunch of traffic cones. Somebody make that custom. I want to see a Cubely with a bunch of traffic cones. Narrative uses the wired funnels from variation of the Delta Gundam. Yes, I'm aware of what the wired funnels are from, Jerry. Also from the Silver Bullet funnel test type. Yes, he uses them in a colony. See, I was right. I remembered a thing from a Gundam thing.
Amazing.
But once again, that's inside a colony. Colony doesn't technically have gravity, so a lot easier, especially if you're in the core where there's zero gravity. They don't weigh much. Compared to what? Or you mean the traffic cones? Yeah, probably not. They actually have wings. What has wings? Which one are you referring to?
The fangs?
Real life, fangs have wings. At least some of them do. Narrative goes NTD mode, guides wired funnels wirelessly. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Anyways, moving on, because now we have to do the thing. We get the epic shot here of...
Yes.
Got to have a glint off the V-fin. It does look really beefy right here.
Yeah, proportions are a little bit off.
No, I'm fine with it. It looks great.
I mean, it's off, but it looks damn cool. So
I don't know. I mean, usually it's depicted as way taller and skinnier, kind of. But I think the wings really do just do it. But also, you notice here, he put his wings down. Like he had them out, and then he puts them down.
Out and then down. Out and then down. Out.
Okay. Yeah, and then for some reason he just punches him. He's like, "Fuck you." It's like once again, it comes down to just a physical brawl because they're like, well, my beams won't work on you. You can't shoot me.
Well, what's funny is that he goes, Hiruto, you seem a little uneasy. Let go of those feelings here and now. And then he punches him in the face.
I know. It was the get your senses together. And he was kind of distracted for whatever reason. He was like very sure of himself when he attacked the meteor. But then once they got to gravity, where his Gundam is far more useful, and the freedom is less useful, he just like loses it. Like, come on.
Yeah, because he's like, I knew it. He's not someone I can beat just by having the right gunpla.
Yes. Chaos funnel. Oh, chaos funnels have wings. Okay. Punched. Oh yeah, the idea that also, if you noticed, that Hiruto had a mark on his face after getting punched.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which I don't understand that.
That's just a figurative thing or what?
That was just symbolic. Yeah, that's just symbolic. He's knocking the shit out of him. You know how they do. It's a Gurren Lagann thing. Let me run up to you and punch some sense into you. Yeah, he literally just said Gurren Lagann, grit you. Literally said grit your teeth, Jerry. Just put it there. So I think that's literally what it is. Although this is an interesting angle that we've never really seen of the Barbatos V-fin, and it really looks like antlers.
Yeah,
it looks like a crown. It looks like antlers.
Some sort of mythical deer antler thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a rare angle, so to speak. You know, also rarely on the ground like this. You know, it's usually like almost completely dead before it goes to the ground like this.
Yeah,
like
because when he punches him in the face, Barbatos goes down to a knee.
Yeah, it goes down on one knee. Now, if they really wanted to go past this moment and say, let's just say he beats the champ, but you know, Lupus Rex is a little beat. What are the odds the next person's opening move is raining Dine Slaves down on him? They're just like, that would be my first move regardless. I'd be like, Hanate, and like literally just he's like, my turn. It's like, but yeah, he's definitely a very cocksure moment here. But that would be funny. Okay, then it's time to go.
Yep,
we gotta do the thing because.
Yeah, so he's like, I'd ask you to return to Avalon, but now you have friends who are dear to you. And he says, yes, I'm a bill diver. Cue the theme music. And we got Hiruto has Barbatos go into rage mode.
Unchained mode.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's unchained.
Okay.
Remember when he says, let me take your chains off? That's why they call it unchained mode. I thought there was an animation error there for a second around the knuckles. Like you could see the mace through the knuckles, but no, it's the thing. Though it does look really funny because it drew the fingers so strange. It's like, I got this. It just looks, because the Lupus Rex's fingers are ridiculous. So it looks funny when it's holding long. Something. Yeah. It just looks fun. Like this is where they went, we can skimp a little on the animation. Although the close-up shot when he activates it is way better.
It's also a pose that I don't think any of the current Lupus Rex kits can actually do.
Well, can versus holding. Like this is out of order, obviously, but this was a great close-up shot.
Oh man.
With the high contrast. I mean, I think technically it can do that. It would just fall over or the shoulders would drop. It would just it would do this. Let's just be honest. You'd get it in that shot and then it would just until the waist joint gave out and then literally the legs are still standing there and the body is falling over. Yes, but it's a thing it can do. Also, really still showing off how ridiculous that mace is. The Christmas tree mace.
Yeah. The one that's the size of the Gundam.
Yeah. Hey, Barbatos, this is your prey. Here, I'll take those chains off for you. Show me. Yeah. Straight out of that. The HG might be able to do that. Like I said, it can do it. It's like whether it stays that way. Waist would definitely not. Yeah, would definitely need to be tightened. Okay, so and then the champ.
So Freddy and the kids are at a loss for words, and the champ goes into seed mode.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Yes, I actually looked it up because I don't refer to it as seed mode, and apparently, at least that's according to the wiki, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I love
seed stands for something, but I didn't bother.
But I love the idea that they do the eye thing, and then they actually do the seed thing with the GBN logo in front of
their
it.
own version of it, which I thought was just amazing.
What I want to know is, what is the pilot technically experiencing right here? Like the diver. What is the diver technically experiencing right here?
Hyper awareness,
You
oneness
said
with the galaxy.
seed mode sounds like hentai. Shush. And then he activates all the guns, starts charging everything, except I don't think he didn't do the dragoons for reasons. And then he just targets everything. It's like, yeah, all of those things that you're targeting are beam resistant for the most part. So it just overwhelmed him with beam attacks, I guess.
Yeah, but and somebody in the comments of the video pointed out, like, he even targets the cockpit, which is something Kira never does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the straight up main target is the cockpit.
And I find it interesting seeing this because I'm so used to the scenes where Kira brings up all the weapons and targets multiple mobile suits. And instead, because there's only one enemy right now, it's like, okay, I'm just going to target all your joints and your head and your cockpit and your weapon.
Also, is this under the special attack menu?
Probably.
Because
I'm betting seed mode is part of the special attack menu too.
well, that's what I was getting at, because Blockio said that's a deliberate seed mode, not just I'm raging in battle. Like literally activated it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Much like, well, with Barbatos, we knew that it could be activated by either a command or a control switch or something, or just the emotional state of said pilot. But could other IBO ships go unchained? Yes, they all technically could, but their pilots were more limited, and they never removed the limiter from the AV system that was installed, as previously discussed. So yes, other Gundams and IBO could go unchained. Technically, Vidar with the AVE system in it was kind of almost always in that mode without flaming eyes. That's why it was so damn fast the first time he fought it.
Okay. I remember specifically, like, nobody else could pilot the Barbatos because Mika somehow was basically the only body that could handle the AV system without any of its limiters. And
Handle versus was more adapted to it because he's the only person who had the surgery 3 times. He's the only person who had 3 connection nodes.
Oh, okay.
So he had more. Other than Ein, he had the most connection to the AV system proper. So for whatever reason, the way he was wired, no pun intended, was better than literally anyone. So as it went for a normally functioning human, he was the most in tune with his Gundam, but without having to be turned into a literal vegetable in suspension fluid with your entire nervous system connected, which was all bad anyways, because Ein was old, too old, technically speaking.
IBO had some interesting stuff.
The science is actually really cool. The idea that nano machines create a pseudo lobe interface lobe of the brain to do that, and the idea that what the AVE system is using Ein as that lobe. So his brain is technically taking the hit of the interface. That's why the Ein brain technically takes over, and what's his face, Gaelio, technically goes limp. So yes, it's not really a consciousness so much as the pseudo brain doing the thing. And the idea that once he was damaged, Mika that is, Barbatos literally fixed him when he was connected.
Yeah.
So Barbatos now became the brain extensions that were damaged in Mika's body. So I don't think anybody else being hooked to it would be good. It's crazy. more or less. Anyways, so then they charge at each other, and pink explosions happen. Yes, stuff happened after this. God knows what. You'll never know.
Ending credit. It's the first ending credits to IBO.
What do you mean?
There's a little starburst thing on the ending credits of IBO.
Oh, I don't know. I don't pay attention to end credits.
Sing the orphans. Da, da, da.
I guess I missed that. It's been a while, okay. But the idea that he's charging up, like he's like going into the up at it with the mace, is like, I'm gonna get you. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we're gonna charge it straight into the blast lane on Aurora, and we cut to title and credits.
Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, because the original AV system, which became forbidden technology, obviously was made to work with adults, not just children. So yes, that makes sense. Sorry, a lot of people are saying, oh, now we're into the discussion of what the Ein brain technically did. It's like, that's really what it is. It just became the main pseudo lobe so that Galileo wasn't taking the brunt. Yes, and then I captured the logo. This wasn't actually part of the thing. This is just how I got it in the thumbnail, because it didn't exist as a PNG file. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I was expecting more stuff to be in the credits, because I remember from previous battle logs that they actually put things in the credits. Usually more conversations or other little excerpts or stuff like that. But this time I was like, oh, they didn't do anything but just recap what we just watched in green. If they have that technology, they don't use it, because remember that McGillis had to perfect the technology to use it on himself, and it still wasn't good enough. So yes. See, ReRISE title, don't use the GBN logo. What? I guess. I don't know. Isn't that the GBN logo? Yeah, I'm sorry to ask this, but I got here a little late. What did you guys say about the core Gundams in Eldora? It's canon. Why would they live there? Just Gunpla Showcase. Victor, they were using them as speakers. That's why Freddy had a microphone. So they literally put them in there for surround sound and to sell kits. That's pretty much the only reason why those are there.
Yeah.
They're not like there for them to use. Because technically speaking, only a diver can use their Gunpla. So was the Gundam base sticker on May's hair in Eldoran? No, it just said Gundam base. No. Why would it be in Eldoran? It's like, oh, though that's an interesting kind of point. Would the screen they're watching on translate any printed English to Eldoran? But you got to remember, we're not just necessarily watching it through the screen. We're watching it up close, because I got to think that some of the perspectives were not available to the one screen. So it is what it is. Why not have Riku? Because it's not about Riku. Who cares? It's like the champ was connected to them. So it was all of our current divers versus the person they're kind of connected to from the original, with the exception of Shariar. But we got the battle between Shariar and Par in the first go round. So everybody was linked more or less to the person that they fought. That's why we didn't get Riku. We already got the connection to Riku before. But
I suspect when we get another Battlog thing for Build Divers, we'll probably get something with Riku in it one way or another.
One thing I dug about this is that with the seriousness of trying to save an alien planet gone, they can just have fun again.
Yes.
And that was cool. That was the one thing I liked about this. There's 0 stakes. It's just having fun in a tournament, technically a battle royale, yes. But I would like to know if this segment was technically just our build divers, and this is still an open style thing, It's like, where do we go from here? And did they know who the next person in line would be? Like,
considering the reactions, I don't think so.
yeah. Well, maybe they didn't know what mobile suit they would be up against versus the person. But yeah, because I don't think anybody was necessarily surprised about who they were up against. Versus the people watching wouldn't know. So I think that's the only difference. But yeah, no, I mean, as a battle royale goes, it's about right. You know, you just literally, this person can beat you, throw in the next one, you throw in the next one, so on and so forth, until it inevitably turns into everyone running into the ring for the last couple matches and beating the crap out of each other, and then the chairs come out, and then all of a sudden,
here comes Rico with a steel chair.
Yes. Ryu, the guy who always yells like the fire punch and kick stuff. Yeah. I mean, it was just fun. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if that would work as a batlog. Just seeing May, like a day in the life of May. That really wouldn't be a batlog unless she was actually battling at some point. I think that's kind of the point. That would just be an OVA episode of just like whatever.
I would love to see a day in the life of May, though. That would be cool.
I mean, outside of just doing this, what does she do other than sit at the bar? Could you imagine? Hold on, let's look at it this way. So she lives at the bar, technically on the bar. What if, because we know it's also a karaoke bar to some degree, what if May at some point starts or learns to sing and then starts entertaining people at the bar from a tiny stage on the bar? I mean,
that would be adorable.
That would be awesome. It's like, would she ever develop a personality that far?
I'm just picturing her like singing Anime Janai or something like that. The theme song to Double Zeta.
Yeah. I mean, I did like it. I'd like this episode. It was fun. No stakes. We got to see essentially all our main characters from ReRISE again, and then some older ones, which is cool. Got to finally introduce IBO Gundams in a canonical way into Build Divers verse. It was always teased or like, it's IBO, right, isn't it? But it's not. Now we actually got it. So whether that means it's been long enough or whether a new deal was reached or something along those lines, cool. I'm sure there's an explanation somewhere. Or they'll say, this doesn't count. Sorry, this is the only way you're going to get it. But then it allows those idiots out there who say IBO Gundams are the weakest Gundams to get into dumb fights on the internet with people and then bring it into the Discord.
I'm going to say they're not the weakest.
I'm not going to get
mainly just because and this may upset people, the Grandpa Gundam was getting outclassed by mobile suits by the end of First Gundam. The only reason it survived was because Amuro Ray was a damn good pilot. So
yeah, a good pilot can still make use of a shit Gundam.
Yeah, so and with just the nature of power creep, Grandpa Gundam is the weakest Gundam. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, aside from actual enemy Gundams finally coming out within the series, they didn't have an escalation of opponents. Not really. It's like it's like, oh, we're up against other mobile suits that have come out. Okay, ours are as good, if not better. Plus our Gundams are that well equipped. Cool. You're dead. Or be a part of our forces. Oh, that's a Gundam. Better beat it down. Oh, that Gundam is ours now. You know, that's a nice green Gundam. He's for me. He's for me. Yeah, I just thought about that. Space Guts. He's for me. But I mean, and then once the mobile armor was out of the way, it's just like, okay, now what? It's like that is literally like the biggest thing the Gundams were meant to go up against. And then all we get is other Gundams or big space rods to be fired at them. It's like power creep is kind of difficult at this point. It's just like, okay, you can literally only go up against things that are equal to you because there's nothing that can surpass you at this particular juncture. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm required to go. Okay, people are having to leave. It's fine.
Yeah, I've already got the notification that sleep is a thing. So
No, it's fine. It's getting late. Ahmad Adam keeps saying, "How many Gundam from Build Diver ReRISE?" That's not a full question, so I can't answer a question that's not a full question. Gundam frames or things. Like I said, in the Discord, we have now established a multi-universal versus channel. If you're interested in coming in there and proving why your Gundam from this universe is better than this Gundam from this universe, by all means come in there. We have a set of rules. So read the rules first before you jump into the fight, and don't just come in there with BS opinions based off of what someone else said on the internet. Come with facts and reason and argue your point. And at some point, we will be having live debates based on this as soon as it's organized well enough. So we'll be looking for people who want to come and do that because it will be fun.
I'm not very good at that kind of thing, so don't necessarily expect me.
No, but you could be a fact checker. It's pretty easy when they give you all the reference points. Either way. So, guys, make sure, of course, to go subscribe to this guy. Most of you already subscribed to me, but I always welcome more people. Of course, thanks for coming and hanging out. It's too bad that we can't just go at another one of these because God knows when the second one's coming out, if there will ever be a second one. But it would be interesting to get people who aren't specifically like main characters in on things. Like, let's get some Koichi. You know, maybe we get somebody else. Oh, let's get Momo and Hinata next go round.
That'd be fun.
That would be pretty interesting. Or do we get Hinata and her sensei?
That could be cool too.
Yes, in their archery Gundams. Yeah, her senpai. Yes, sorry. In their archery related Gundams. Can I do research with real mobile suits, Gundam Mythbusters? What? You have to do the research on the Gundam that you are representing and provide actual links to things. The rules are posted. You can find it. Machine Core, hello. How's your day going? It's literally end of the day, so it is what it is. Hilato v. Carlos. Okay. No. I just realized what he meant by that. So, what do you got coming up on the channel this week that people need to watch?
If I can get it uploaded tonight, I have a review of the HGUC GAN for tomorrow. And I'm not sure what I'm doing after that. Don't have anything filmed just yet.
Is what it is. I will have some type of transforming device on at some point this week, possibly multiple ones. I still have 52 Toys reviews coming. I have Soundwave and Sound Blaster, yay, coming. Secondary channel, more action figures that are really cool, and you should be watching those and subscribing to that channel. And then over on the third channel, I've got nothing lined up, but there's new songs and or things. The guy who did the SpongeBob anime just did a Scooby-Doo anime episode as well. So I'm going to go watch that because I don't know what it is, but he's totally anime done Scooby-Doo, which is really cool looking. So I got to go watch that. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, either, type it into YouTube or whatever, because I always forget the link down below. And of course, merch. You can do the merches as well. So go buy Fuck Your Empire shirt or Double October shirts. Or if you need to go to his stores, go buy stuff from him. But buy stuff from me because nobody ever buys stuff from me. They need to justify the new Fumina kit. Yeah, how do we keep getting Fumina kits and we don't get any of the girls that currently exist? But either way, guys. So remember, as always, keep on nerding, keep on building, and let's keep building this community together.
And I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.
Can you tell we're rusty? Bye, guys.